this is like not an old stream style of mine, but a newer one. But not the newest. I'm not going to do like fully prepped stuff, or we could get into that later, but I kind of want to just like hang out, talk about synths, and make some noise, play with some modules a little bit, and you can share my joy and frustration as I do some of this stuff. Like right now, I'm playing with the Ecto Core, one of the sickest modules ever, but it's got some cool quirks to it. So let's get that going again. Pretty sure I'm just talking to myself on this one, but I'm not. Device X, what's up? Long time. Yeah, so let's go to a little bit slightly closer view of the Ecto Core, just right here. The almond blue module. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, it's a really funky one. I'd never had a module that works quite like the way it does. So it doesn't have a trigger, right? Like there's no trigger for it. It's not like you're saying, I want you to hit this beat every, play this piece of the sample every time I hit the trigger. Instead, the clock is sort of the trigger, sort of not. The clock both sets the speed that it plays at, and it sets it's basically a trigger at the same time, right? Sub-resonance, yeah, it's a little funky there. So it took me a while to work into my system how I wanted exactly to use this thing, right? One, it needs a clock. It's got this quirk where, it's a feature. It's got a feature where when the clock stops, it stops. Because again, the clock is also the trigger. But it's also using that clock speed to calculate how fast it's playing the sample. And so what I did was I took the clock, piped it into the select up here, took the output of that, and brought it back over to the Ecto Core. I also then have an extra channel on one of my MIDI things that when it's high, it will switch the select so that clock is now sent to the Ecto Core. It's also multed that high signal from my MIDI thing. It will go also to the level, so the levels on the mixer, so that it can fully silence it when it's low. Now this leads to some quirks because the clock isn't always on. Uh-oh, lost my ears. Hold on. I've ripped my ears off so many times that there's no friction to do it anymore. Anyway, what was I saying? So that's how I have it set up right now. So the clock's not always going to it, which can be pretty fun. So right now I have, you won't be able to see it. I have two notes playing on that channel, which is why we hear it. And you can sort of hear it cut now. I'll remove the bass so you can hear it. It's just Ecto Core. And because there's enough clock going in and it's fairly consistent when it is going in, the speed of the sample doesn't have to change. But I found if I add a note, it recalculates and you get this cool sample ride. It's a nice smooth rise. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Very cool accidental feature. And I'm not sure exactly what the yeah, it's definitely one to play with. So back to normal again. Get that bass back in there. the kick there mostly just to get a feel for timing on it, because I can sometimes feel like it's out of time. And I think that has more to do with the samples that are playing than the actual module being out of time, because it's just, again, clock synced. Like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with how that sounds right now, so I'm not going to like reset the thing or anything, but that's the ecto-core. Actually, if I stop that, and let's see what happens if I have the no clock going and I hit go. Nothing, okay. So I do have to have a clock. And now, anytime I hit a drum pad, let's see, anytime I hit a drum pad, it'll be playing. Pretty good. And some of that stuff that you hear are effects just from it. Like I have the break feature on fairly high, so it happens often. Yeah, that stuff. Getting like serious data bender vibes sometimes, especially with the reverse. Anyway, how are y'all doing? Wow, it's so weird to ask that in just silence. Just the most silence. There we go. It's been a minute because I've been doing other stuff, but since then I've reorganized this whole thing and rewired it up. It's got some cool tricks now that it didn't before. This, I've got some modules in progress for Cosmo stuff that I need to finish up, and then this is getting a major reorg, so I'll be silent again for however long that takes. Probably not too long. Yeah, so, what else? I guess I can show one of my other favorite tricks. It's kind of cool. It doesn't require much to do it, so if I don't even need a clock to do this one. It occurred to me that it could be cool to, on this new mixer, send audio to the data bender on specific channels when my hand's near the theremin. And I think that sounds awesome. How wide are my Cosmo cases? Exactly 80 centimeters. Am I planning to use mostly drum loops? I don't know what I'm going to use it for just yet. Right now, I'm sort of toying with the presets just because there's a pretty wide variety of sounds in there already, and they'll give me some idea of what I might want to do. And when I figure that out, I'll probably load up some of my own samples using their tool. I initially was thinking it would replace the rample for stuff like amen breaks and things like that. I'm not sure that's the case. Like, I just haven't hit a vibe with it. There's sort of like, there's a little bit of, not funk, it's just like a weird module that you've got to, with lots of sweet spots that you've got to sort of find the right sounds for. To play with your music, because sometimes they can feel like they're offbeat, which maybe they are, I'm not really sure. But what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, cool audio thing. Let's see here.
You are not used to the sound of real analog.
Look. You don't understand what sound is anymore. You digitized your brain and fried it with too many algorithms.
Like, is that not the coolest, stupidest thing ever? Anyway, back to this. Yeah, that's the dope for theremin. It's got some funk to it as well, like getting the offset exactly centered so that it's not applying CV is near impossible. So like, let's say you want to put it into a filter. It's either going to be adding a little bit or removing a little bit at all times. Just a little bit annoying, but workable. Another cool thing that the theremin can do that I have currently sort of off is it has a threshold and it can output a gate when you reach the threshold. So if I get close enough, it will send out a gate that's open until you're far enough away. Now, also on the data bender, I like sending that to the freeze slot because it's pretty nice to just like, here, let me just show you. Now it's just frozen, right? Like, it's just gonna keep doing that. Not really the greatest example, but let's keep that going. Let's get a better one. Right, like you can freeze, like, I think freezing hats and stuff sounds awesome when you're doing a rise or something. And then you just like, I don't know, the slapping motion tends to have it set at a low enough threshold. We'll send the, come on, make it a little lower, there we go. We'll send the gate out again. So to recap, going, slap on, slap off, try it anyhow. I almost need like more sound. Let's get some cymbals going on this, why not? Oh, I know why it's not working the way I intended on this one. But let's see, let's turn that up. Okay, so now we've got stuff going to it all the time, right? To the data bender. So now if I freeze, we get, you know, cool stuff. And even if I stop, it'll just keep going. You can sort of play with it. And then, again, when I want to be done with it, just sort of shoo it away when I have it at the right threshold. There we go. Anyway, that's an old trick, though. Hey, Grego. Yeah, the data bender is good. Not everybody likes it. I do. But right now I'm enjoying the mangling that it does. Like, instead of on the previous mixer, so this is the new performance mixer. On the old performance mixer, there was a switch to go between one of two mono auxiliary outputs. And it had a middle switch so both would be off. That was a nice thing to just quickly turn on data bender or switch to like a reverb or something. But this one's got knobs for each one, so I can send to two things at once, which is cool, but knobs are way slower and you have to sort of dial them in. But I thought maybe it'd be cool if I just performatively get closer to the theremin, and now I have data bending. I can still use the knobs if I want it to stay on, but kind of fun to use for a temporary performance thing, especially with that sample that I used in one of my other tracks over here.
You're not used to the sound of real
Stupid. Alright, let's go back to the Ectocore. Should I play with the Ectocore some? Like, for those of you who missed the very beginning, this is just me like hanging out and playing with stuff. Not getting super performance-y on this one. Like, it's really cool. Like, you can really switch things up pretty quick. Just like, let's extend the sequence. Oh, it helps if I silence some of the other stuff going on. So I'm just gonna go ahead. So let's just do ecto. And let's kill the brake on it for a second. So ecto, no effects from its own things. I kind of am hoping that they do I don't know, I haven't explored their tool, but I'm hoping they let me play with the effect combinations on the Grimoire. That would be super sick if I could dial in what I wanted on each one. Because right now they're insane. Like, if I turn this up, you'll hear some crazy shit. Alright, enough of that. Let's go to a different sample, because, well, first let's just show, since the samples are playing for a while, I can re-roll, essentially, the randomized sequence it's playing, because it's sort of jumping through a sample in a specific sequence. If I go all the way to the left, it'll play it in order. Kinda. So let's turn off that randomization. The sample itself sounds kind of chopped. That's kind of funny. But then if I start rotating it, it gets more and more, let's get a different camera, more and more, like I can set the length of the sequence, and it's playing the sequence at, the same sequence that it's dialed in, just I change the length of it. If I want to randomize it, turn the knob all the way to the right, which basically re-rolls it. Yeah, I should put the decor. Yeah, it just magically makes everything more interesting. That's what I like about it, and that's why I no longer know what I'm going to do with it. Because I want to figure out what magical things I want to do. But it's pretty cool. Like, I really do like it. I think it's got some really clever bits. And I can see like 3 of these being, I mean, we've seen Infinite Digits videos recently. He's like just using like 3 of these, I think a clock or something. I feel like that's all you need, but they did it really smart where they have a clock output coming from this based on the clock you sent in. That can be clock divided, so you can just chain them really easily and not need to split up your clock. You can change the clock speed of individuals. Pretty smart way to do this thing. I kind of wish there was a way I could say like, hey, half speed this. Right, like this is kind of chaotic. Let's re-roll it. Another thing that's really cool about this is on its own, you get like all of these things that you're just instantly grooving to. They don't always line up with things, so let's make a quick like kick track here. See where that kick came in? Wasn't exactly where you might anticipate it coming in. Yeah, I mean, everything Isaac makes is going to be ridiculously cool and weird in a good way. Okay, so like what happens if I take the sequence and just turn it on part of the time? But let's get rid of some of the other stuff. Hold on. The thing is, I don't know how repeatable this is, right? Like, this is definitely something that you're going to have to improvise with if you're doing a live performance. Like, there's no... Like, I don't think it saves the same sequence when you boot it back up. I'm not sure. But also, who cares? Yeah, that's so cool. That was a happy accident. Yeah, so as I add like triggers or gates that are sending clock through again, its clock speed is recalculating, so that's why you get that like ramp as it's sort of figuring out. Pretty cool. And now, also over here, I don't want to do like a full demo on it, but I really like this. I don't know what you call it, sort of a randomizer button or knob that if you go right, is random. The more right you go, the more random. The higher the chance that one of the notes, one of the samples played will be a randomly selected sample instead of the one on the original sequence. Non-destructive on both of these. So if I go back to like 0 or the middle, it's the same sequence. If I go to the right, you'll start to hear notes being replaced. But the cool thing about the right, so rotating to the right, is just replacing notes. Versus on the left, I think it's sort of adding notes. So things can sort of get out of alignment, which you might want to spice things up. But pretty cool. That might also be a good way to sort of align the clock if it's not like doing what you want. Not sure. Another thing is the tap button has a bunch of combos. I'm never going to remember them all, and they're not necessarily written on here. Like, I forget what. I feel like tap plus Amen is a DJ filter. Oh, that's cool that it retains that. I never tried that before. There's a few more combos like that. Tap and sample will let you switch banks really quickly. They all have vibes, which is good. It's a good set of samples. Yeah. Get the Black Friday deals paid off and get one from them. There's still a few bugs to work out, I think. Not sure if I got a faulty unit or I don't think it's a power supply issue on this case, but every once in a while it freezes, which is. Once I figure out how to replicate it, I'll report it. But it's a little early on for me to think it, I think it's okay. It's brand new. It sounds so good. Come on. Let's see what the whole sequence sounds like. That is the whole sequence. Let's make a new drum sequence to go with that. I don't want that. I want that other one. Also, what I figured out? I've been using the Kraken for, I don't know, maybe years now, I don't know. And just now realized the length of the trigger or the gate going to it changes the sound a little bit. So if I change it to like very small fraction of a note, it'll actually change it, so that's pretty cool. It's not held. Like, one of the things I would love is if I had a long held note on the snare that it just does noise, but luckily I made my own noise thing, which is just That's just the entropy going into maths with a gate going into it, nothing else. I was short on VCAs and I didn't want to take up a channel on the mixer to do that, so maths to the rescue. Instant vibes. PC. Yeah, I couldn't help it. I feel like Isaac's like the coolest dude, person, thing. Gotta support the fam. And also, it's a freaking sick module. I would not have rearranged my entire case to fit it in otherwise, because that was a nightmare, actually. Hours. And I don't think it's ever going to leave my case, except for if Isaac ever makes a black panel, then I will pull it and swap the panel. Because I'm a crazy person. But actually, I thought it was the only colored panel I have. It's not. I realize now, looking at my system, I've got this nice pink one that says heckseven on it down here, made by GC Zaya, for a DEF CON badge, which is pretty sick. It's a little sequencer thing. It's pretty cool. But I need to write some code for it. I mean, I wrote some animations and things for it, like if I go to, see, I don't even know if you can see me, but if I go to, let's see here, flashy, rainbow, no, I want to go down to Cosmo, and then it glows red. Dumb, but makes me happy. Yeah, I think if he sells black panels as an add-on, that'd be cool. And I'll get it, no problem. But also blue is like pretty good. It looks really nice. Let's see if we can get like a bass line or something, or maybe the bass line I have going over on the other thing might work. Let's see what this sounds like. No. Not viable. That's sick, but not what I'm feeling right now. that sound synced up with what you see flashing here in this little area down here. Informal. I'm not gonna. Feel free to interrupt me and ask stuff, and we'll talk about it. So you want to know what the ARP was from? Let me bring it back in just solo, just to make sure it's the right one. This one? Wow, there's that delay. Yeah, pretty. Okay, that is the original synth that I built right here. So it's just a couple of VCOs, MS-20 filter, into a VCA, back out, into the splashback, which is some 2390s or whatever that PT2390, I'm totally forgetting the number. 3 of those stacked together, so it's a kind of an unruly delay, and then that's it. And right now I am using 2 oscillators, so it's got they're an octave apart. I just like the way it sounds, pretty much at all times. And that patch has probably been that way since 2020 or something. Anyway, let's bring the rest of that stuff back in. Yes, the splashback does have a bypass, and it's a switch, super satisfying. I also have, after that, here, let's bring everything back out again, except for maybe this drum, and the bass. I like the bass, because I have one more track. So, with this voice, especially when you've got that delay going, you've got a long tail. So I have that going through the dial-up module I made, which is straight up a really dumb circuit, but it's a really nice one to interrupt. Maybe not in this context, but like if I like paused and then hit it, pretty fun. Anyway, back to the main show. Yeah, so for those of you not on all of the Discords that I've been haunting lately, on the DivKit Discord, maybe the EMS Discord, I was asking about a bypass module. Yeah, EMS as well. And that's for this bass sound down here, considering iterating on it. A local Colorado person made a cool oscillator module that I had not seen when it was launched because I've been sort of in and out of the synth thing the last year, but I'd seen it. It's pretty cool. It's a phase distortion and phase modulation module, which, while I understand at a high level, is still beyond me saying I understand it. But the sounds that come out of it may be good enough to replace, at the very least, the VCO2 from Erica Synths, and maybe even the Pizza. And that's just because it can make some really sick bass sounds on its own. And it also goes into territory of like, I don't even know, dubstep or like some crazy sounds. And with that in mind, I would want to be able to modify my bass voice on the fly to switch between the crazy sound it does on its own to a filtered sound, like Filter of Crows, into the God Eater for this like mega heavy bass sound. So to give you an idea of what that sounds like, I don't know if it plays well in the sequence, but we'll try it. Actually, we'll just go to that sequence. Not that. You'll hear it. Something's going on here. You're supposed to know. That bass is what I'm talking about. Right now that bass is, Pizza into VCO2, into Filter of Crows, into God Eater, into Subway with some envelope going between the two channels on the output channels of the God Eater. Sorry, I meant to solo the bass, but I had the wrong thing. So let's just do that. Leave some drums. I really like that sound. And I'm just going to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt it. wrong button. There's also a track I was playing with recently. I don't know how to sequence it. Kind of a brain block there, but it's fun to play with. Basically has all the pieces, but I don't know the order I want to put them in. Which are sounding pretty good, I think. Also have that theremin on that filter. Still chugging along like a little trooper, little monster of a trooper. I mean, 6 HP, come on. Also the hardest number for me to fit into my case for whatever reason. No, it's 8 HP, 8 HP. Which should have been easier, but that's okay. Another thing that I need to work out that I could use some ideas is on the basil. The spicy flavor module from Bastel. It's a delay. It's clock synced. However, when I turn it on, I don't know if there's noise in I think there's just a little bit of noise going to it at all times, which is okay. Don't mind that. But the problem is that the clock going to it hasn't hit it yet, so it's, sync is set to like pretty, I want to say a high speed or something. Basically the time knob changes its purpose depending on if there's a clock going in or out, or if there's no clock. Basically, what I'm trying to get at, when I turn my machine on, it goes into instant high-pitched dog feedback whistle, and I don't like that. What I can do to fix that, which I don't like, is I just go to dry until I hit clock. Like the second I hit play on something, it basically resolves it. But I don't have any other ideas. I would love it to be something I don't have to think about at the start of a performance in case I forget and blow out someone's eardrums by playing that sound over a PA. It does mean hours of rearranging. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing is, like, I've actually made my own Cos modular grid on my computer. Like, it's not a fully functioning site or anything, it's just like a drag and drop thing that I made in a design tool. So a bunch of black squares, appropriately proportioned, with names. And that's so I can rearrange without the headache, but device, you probably know this headache a little bit. I don't know if you ever went the wooden rails route, but rearranging with wooden rails, especially if you've got some like early look mum modules, before like all of the Cosmo panels started to use a similar screw position or hole positioning and format, things were kind of all over the place vertically. And, anyway, all mine are wooden rails. So some things just can't move. Like this filter right here is just, that's where it is forever. So it does make rearranging a little tricky, and it'll also mean that when I actually try to rearrange to fit the idea of what I want to do, things might not work. So we'll see. And that's similar to what I encountered over here with the Eurorack. It's a little different on the Eurorack side of things, because most everything fits on a rail nicely, at least vertically. But for whatever reason, since the last time I rearranged this case, my bottom rail is actually 1 1 HP less than it was, so that's kind of funny. But it does mean I had to make some compromises. Like I've got a diagonal no pass filter filling a 2.5 HP gap or something. Yeah, wooden rails and Cosmo makes rearranging cringe, right? Like, I've been thinking about it for a long time, and there's some things I want to do. Like, I want this top box to just be one synth voice. Right now it's sort of mostly one synth voice, but it also has this envelope that goes down to this bass voice down here. I kind of want them to be a little more self-contained so that it reduces setup time, so that basically the only cables that need to go between these are essentially a MIDI cable and an audio cable from the quad VCA mix into the other one. Just, again, reducing setup time is important. And I'm also going to move this Euro rack, the Cosmo Euro playset made by Crucifix, probably over to this box, and this box has another little Euro rack adapter that I'll move over. That'll just contain the guts for the phone stuff. But that should tidy up a lot of random routing that I've got going on. Yeah. But you know, anyway, let's make another thing, huh? I was gonna go drone today, but I think I'm just gonna stall for time until somebody else wants to stream train this thing. Let's see what we got on Discord just to make sure I'm not like blocking anybody. Yeah, I think we should get a stream train going, like real talk. Okay. I think it's time to load up. Should I go with old stuff, or should I just randomly load some things and see if they happen to work with Ecto? I think I'm going to go that route right now. Set tempo to 104 BPM. Yeah, let's see what happens with Ecto. Oh man, it's got vibes still. This is not initially the drum sound I thought I'd be going for. It's got vibes. Good luck on the soccer game. Love that sport. All right, let's see what's on. Let's start with Cosmo's bass line. Looks like I made a bass line for Cosmo. Well, I'm assuming it's a bass line. Could be not. Let's just guess. I'm gonna give it some resonance and go low. Come in here in a second. Interesting. Let's try a different one. Actually, let's just keep going on this line. Kind of cool. On those held notes, it makes me want to do the warble more. Right? Like the longer the notes held. A little bit. Let's see what I do with the drums here too. Just gonna take a look at this one. It's alright. Let's try that second pattern. I actually want to try some stuff. I'm going to copy that bass line and paste it over here. things into two sections, it indicates to me that I have two different ideas going on the same project. Let's start here. See what that is. Piano, alright. That's gonna sound, well, it's gonna sound better if I do this. Add a little bit of pretty. Maybe add some sparkle. Some drums. Very different vibes than before. Don't worry, shock value. I still have all my curtains drawn. Well, they're drawn and taped to the wall so that the sunlight doesn't like blind me. Like, look at this, how bright it is out there. It should be illegal at noon on a Saturday. I'm not ready for that kind of light. Alright, let's see if this bass line sounds any better. Oh shit. No, we're gonna kill this baseline right now. Not that it was designed with that intention in mind, but it reminds me very closely of another baseline that's very popular. Oh, thanks, Matt. And welcome. This is not my usual type of set, but feels like a good Saturday afternoon thing to do. Alright, let's see what this does. Maybe with less distortion and less warble. Shorter. Lower volume. Also some sparkle. Let's try this drum. Yeah, this is very fairy-like. This is very like sorry, all of that going on in my ears was just making it hard for me to talk because my brain was very happy, but very fairy-like, very unlike me. It does sound good though. Let's put it back on for a little bit while I find the next thing to play, huh? I feel this would almost be a good one to have the subharmonica company with, but that's not really the vibe I want to go for the rest of the day, so what I'm going to do is fade out. we want to see what this sounds like just immediately going to 160? Yes. Yeah, that's good. Good job, Ecto. We're pals. We're buddies. Let's get this drum in. Company. What is this one? I can say I don't love this drum, so we're gonna get a different drum line. Try out the lead. The lead is just one note. Good job, me. Sounds like a superhero thing. Oh yeah, this is like Neo after he's like figured shit out in the Matrix. Yeah, that's exactly what this is, and it's entirely that Ecto. Probably even more if I add a little bit of a tech. Let's see what this does. Oh shit. This makes me want to go jump off of something like on a snowboard or skateboard or something. Stupid. Hey, Beowulf. Yeah, I've still been cooking, just a little bit. Not as silly. I don't know what any of the rest of this does, so we're gonna see what it does. It's like a bass, so we'll see. Get ready to attenuate. Maybe that bass line needs the other drum. Let's try that. Let's put them all on. also have a, it looks like something, I don't know if it's a base or what, down here by itself. Should we give it a chance? Give that little sequence a chance to shine. I think so. We're going to do it abruptly. What? Is there nothing in the sequence? Oh, it's just one long note. Like a... This is the whole sequence. Well, that's playing. Let's find a different sequence. Let's try the previous day and see how that's going. this one looks like it's got some stuff cooking.
You are not used to the
So you know what's going on here is that I've clearly got this at 160 BPM, so there's some expectation of D&B, and right now I have the wrong samples loaded. So let's fix that. In the meantime, it makes it, I like this drum pattern on the Ecto is just vibes for days. So let's go down to, if you're following along on the ramp or any of the default stuff, M7. So now when I bring this in, we should hear some stuff. Just a sec. Wait for that to load in, and go. Oh, I started halfway. Sorry, my bad. Let's undo. Pretend you didn't hear any of that, and that I did a smooth transition to this. This is like the same one that I did on the other one, just different. Let's see if it gets more interesting here. Let's add more drums and add that thing in there and see what happens. Oh, holy shit, let's make that shorter. Still haven't like flying off in the Matrix vibes. We're not even going to try to transition to the next bit. We're just going to do it. This insanely long bass. This does not work with the Octa though. Maybe the next bit. We don't need Amen and Ecto. Get some more volume on that piano, wherever that is. I'm not even sure it needs that bass, so try that. I want to put some motion on that at some point. Got another pattern here. Do I? Just one note again? Alright, let's try loading up another one. Also at 100. Kidding me? I guess I was really in a 160 BPM mood, but let's see what we got. Is this just making no sound? Or is it just not hit yet? You know what? This might have been before I remount my MIDI. That's as far back as I can go without being a pain in the butt. Alright. Let's see what the other things sound like. I was really on that for a minute there, just liked that pattern. What about down here? Nope, don't like this. We're just gonna go somewhere else here. Let's load up the... Sort of wondering what this one's gonna sound like right now. So yes, let's go to a lower BPM. And if I remember right, I want this to be a little bit lower, maybe not that low, mid-range, maybe even long. Yeah, lower, with lots of this. Did have some FM, but I'm not going to do that right now. And then, let's get ready to pull that in. So I think, let's see what it sounds like when it comes I almost want a little bit of distortion. Let's try that. Sorry, I'm moving slow. I'm actually not sorry. Let me know if somebody else wants to stream. Let's do a stream train. I can fill in some gaps if needed. Oh, we want some glide on that. Might be in the wrong spot, but we'll find out. got some levels here, but we're getting there. Still figuring things out. Like I said, much of it works. Not vibing right now. Gotta go different thing. I want to check the chat in just a sec. Let's go to this one. That one seems fun. Also, actually, you know what? Let's go to one that's not super fast. Or copyright infringement. Maybe. Yeah, pirates. Still pretty fast, but not like as fast. So let's just get Ecto going so I can read the chat. I'm even less. Just reading the Earth Modular. Isaac, I'm even less interested. Isaac's saying I'm even less interested in the droid, and I actually could not agree more. I haven't played this one in forever, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to take it easy. I don't think it needs reverb. I think it needs some rowdiness. Let's see. Just waiting for that to wrap around. Almost there. You know what this needs is a little bit shorter. This is actually better sounding when I had two oscillators, one of which is on my workbench to fix, instead of a sub-oscillator. So on this bass I've got a single oscillator going into, somewhere around here is a sub-oscillator, so it's just taking the square triangle out, multiplying it an octave or two down. Doesn't sound nearly as good as two oscillators that drift apart a little bit, that are an octave apart. So just imagine this is a better bass line. That's all I'm saying. So let's keep moving. Okay, that's a choice. Yeah, I think that's fun. but overall not too bad. Turn down some of your notes. Well, I should have just told you who I am here. Where is it? It says somewhere. Me. That's me. You should, follow Earth Modular Society and not me. But I love you. Yes! Yeah, just let me know. Give me like a few minutes heads up, and I'll wrap up, and I'll sort of stick around in case we need some filler. Just saying. Much glide just sounds like an elephant. It's just the sound of an elephant. No more glide. I actually had like sort of this intermission piano thing when I normally play this, but we're not doing that today. I want to keep that ecto running. You know what's funny? This is definitely not an Amen sample that's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be. Give me a second. There we go. Now it sounds right. Oh no, Forrestine's awake. Hold on, everybody. Should I go? No, I'm not going to do a drone right now. Maybe in a little bit, because I'm ready for Lasnia, whatever. But no rush. The Furby's pretty fun. I like, I should send the theremin to Furby. It used to be a door stopper, but that's detached right now. agree. This would sound better with reverb, huh? Instead of a delta module. That's why that module says don't, is because it changes the level so much. Too much. Loud Furby. By the way, this is the stream train. What do we call this? The Forestine Get Better stream train, I guess. Yeah. Alright, I see you're all set. I will start wrapping up. Thanks, y'all. Keep an eye out and fill in the gaps. Let's keep it going. Next up, Klosnia.